I'm not having a good day. I don't know where we're at. Not far from Columbia. And we got loaded up with some steel plates that was going to be taken to Kansas City. And I'm cruising down the highway and I go to pass a slower truck. So I downshifted the gear, moved over and took off. And the moment I did that, the truck threw a check engine light. So I get around them, but the truck's running fine. All my gauges check out just fine. So I keep on going to try to find a place to stop at. I find this Pilot. It's about 10 minutes up the road. So I get off, roll up to the stop sign, turn, make a right, pull into the Pilot. As soon as I get to the Pilot in front of the shop, the truck shuts off. And I coast to a stop right in the middle of everything. And I have no power to the key. So instantly I start checking fuses, and to keep a long story short, I found that this fuse right here was blown, and that is my key switch. It's not an ignition relay. My ignition relay, I have an ignition bus relay, and then there is another smaller one, ignition right there. Those are fine. So it's just a key switch. And I got here and we were gonna have the shop, which is right there, get their computer and scan and find out what the check engine light was for. It was either gonna say say that that fuse was blown, or something else happened and maybe that's why that fuse is blowing. But they haven't used their computer in like for freaking ever or whatever, so they couldn't even log into it. So they finally log in, but the software's out of date, so now they're updating it, and they said that it was going to take 2 hours to update or something like that. So I just said screw it. I got the truck running. It was just a blown fuse. I'm gonna keep rolling. So I start the truck, get ready to roll, and I get all the way over there and I go to turn out onto the road. The moment I hit the gas and get to like third gear, the truck dies again. And now I'm hanging halfway out in the road. So I quickly run out. Well, actually, no, I was able to coast backwards. I was on a slight hill and I was able to roll backwards into the parking lot. So I do that and I run out, grab my spare fuse, undo this panel again and throw it in there and back up and bring myself over to here. And now I guess I'm waiting for that computer. But I'm just hoping that once they hook that computer up, we might be able to see, it would say, something short or low power or high voltage or overload, and I can maybe trace down a wire or something that's, having issues. But the weird thing is, I'm wondering if both times I feel like I don't know if when that fuse blows, if the truck will stay running if it's going above a certain speed. And I'm wondering if it does blow, it trips that check engine light, and that's what happened on the freeway. But then when it blew here, I was going slow enough, it shut the truck off right away. But what's also weird is when I got off the freeway, I had to stop at a stop sign and then get going and pull into the Pilot, and then it died when I was just meandering through the parking lot doing like maybe 5 miles an hour. So I don't know. That I have a bunch of questions. I'm already searching online. I'm not seeing much online. These guys over here ain't much of a help, but once they get that computer going, we'll hook it up, see what it says. But my guess is I'm going to be chasing a wire somewhere. But that's our steel plate. It's a whatever, I don't even care right now. I think they're 1/8 inch steel plates. They got like a bundle, then gap, then bundle, then gap. So I got 4 straps going over it on the inside, and then I have chains that cross coming from both ways to keep it from sliding forward and backwards. But that's where we're at. It's a Monday. I'm not liking it. Looks like I'm gonna be stuck here. I'm gonna have to see what happens tonight. If I don't have any good news, I'm gonna have to call the people I booked the load through and the customer, say that I might be a bit late, and kind of go from there. But old truck problems, I love it. So that's the deal. If I'm staying here, fine. I need a shower anyways, but I'm hoping I could get this fixed here soon, and hopefully it's not that big of an issue. Problem is, it's electrical, and you never know of electrical. So alright, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Alright, update. It's the next day. We haven't been able to figure it out, and they finally got their computer hooked up. We checked everything. There was only 2 fault codes that showed up. One, I'm not surprised because it's due. It's the crankcase ventilation filter had overpressure at one point. I'm thinking that's what tripped the check engine light when I went to pass that truck yesterday. It probably detected high pressure, and so sent that check engine light. So that's one of the things I'll probably change here. But the other one that showed up was not necessarily a check engine light or anything like that, but it was a system fault, and it was for the ABS system. And the ABS system does run off of that fuse, because that key switch fuse, when you turn the key on, that's when you hear the ABS system go through its checks, all those clicks that you hear in a truck. So it is in a way linked to that. So what we were thinking is either A, the short is caused by the ABS system, and that's why that fault came up, or B, when that fuse blew and the truck was still rolling for that brief moment, the computer sensed that the ABS system is no longer functioning while the wheels are, turning. So anyways, I was under the truck all morning, jiggling every single wire I can find, moving them around, checking what I could see, and I couldn't find anything. I had the truck running so that if it were too short, the truck would in theory shut off, but it never did. I did from all the way from the back all the way to the front, checked every single ABS line that came from each wheel, followed it all the way down the frame rail. I even took apart this entire dash and started shaking all the wires behind the dash to see if anything would pop it. Nothing is, and it's really frustrating because I can't get anyone to get me a wiring diagram to find out what all is running off of that fuse. I've called the Kenworth dealership. They said that they were going to email me something, never got it. I talked to, this is a whole nother story. My mechanic that I've always gone to was fired yesterday, so I wasn't able to get a hold of him. When the fuse blew the second time, I was just leaving this parking lot and it blew, so I figured, well, let me just drive around it a bunch and see if it goes again. I drove around, did like 3 laps in the parking lot, pulled out onto the road, went back out to the entrance, pulled back in, all this other stuff. The truck seems to be fine, but I just know for a fact that if I get out on the road, it's going to be like me sitting in some traffic light in the busiest intersection possible, and it's going to blow. And like, I could keep my fuses here to where if it does blow, I can pull the panel, pull it out, and put a new one in, and then be on my merry way. But what if it just keeps blowing? I don't want to be stuck in an intersection and it keeps blowing. But at the same time, I really don't know what to do. There's not much else that I can do. Chasing down electrical shorts are a pain and a half, especially when you can't get wiring diagrams for it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to make a call, and I don't know. I'm probably just going to wing it and see what happens. Maybe when I was moving all the wires, I moved it away from whatever was causing the short. I don't know, but that's where we're at. I'm gonna go get myself cleaned up again. I took a shower last night, but now I'm probably gonna need to take another one. I'll get back out, or I'll get cleaned up and then come back out here and figure out what's going on. But not a good week so far. Not a good week. My truck's a mess now because I got everything thrown everywhere.
all part of the game.
Alright guys, so we're still on Interstate 26. We're only about a half hour from that pilot. Check engine light just came back on. So this is what it did. The first time I started having this issue is the check engine light came on, so I pulled off the freeway to see what it was, and that was when the truck died. I pulled the two trucks off. So what I'm going to do, there is a rest stop about a mile, maybe 2 miles up ahead. I'm going to pull in there, see if the truck dies again. I know, according to the computer, it was saying that the crankcase filter had a high pressure, and I meant to change that when I was sitting in the parking lot, because I do have a filter with me. It's super easy to do. So regardless, once I get to this rest area, I'm going to change that. Well, I can't find my my magnetic mount, so head cam it is. So this is what we're replacing here. Guessing you looked like a 5/16 to 3/8 would be my guess. Should have gotten the extension. Not gonna be you. 5/16. 5/16's our winner. So yeah, I should have gotten the extension. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. Down to the bottom she goes. Right, down to the bottom she went. I know it went damn near to the bottom, so it's probably hung up around the starter. It's actually probably on top of the starter. Alright. I'm starting to get used to crawling under here. Alright, where are you? On the frame rail? Yep, it's on the frame rail. Write in the comments below what you guys like to see, and I'll try to do more of it. I know I haven't unloosened that one. I know a lot of you, or at least looking at the analytics, not a lot of people like the driving portions where I do music time lapses and whatnot. Personally, I love that, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But I know a lot of you skip through it, according to the analytics at least. But still, let me know what you guys like seeing. If you prefer me talking, If you prefer me working or driving or whatever, just anything, let me know what you like and I'll try to do more of it. Like I said, I'm trying to change the variety of stuff, that way it's not super boring, but at the same time, yes, this is an entertainment type of channel, but it's really still just for me. No offense to you guys, I love you guys, but it's really just my thing. I'm gonna do it kind of how I want to do it, but I also want to cater and make sure you guys are happy. So just let me know if you like what I'm doing. Cool, let me know, I'll keep doing it. If you want to see something change, I'll try to do it, or I'll explain why I can't. But yeah, there we go. It's just a snug fit. Well, that's the filter. Slide you back in there. Take this, clean off any crud around the edge. Pop you back on down in there, just like that. Take our cover, easily squeeze you down in here. Alright, update. We made it to Knoxville, but truck ain't happy about it. It's the same issue. Anyways, you saw that the truck was doing good. I made it to that rest area, it never shut off, never died, all was well. Replaced the filter. After that, I kept going. I made it to Knoxville, which was about a 4.5 hour drive from there. Dealt with a whole bunch of construction, stop and go traffic, everything was fine. Decided to just call it quits for the day and park up over here at the Loves right after the 75 and 40 split on the west side, and got off the freeway, was coming down the off ramp, slowing down for the traffic light, when just as I was getting to the traffic light, the truck died. And this traffic light wasn't working, and there was a cop sitting there directing traffic. And so I roll up there, truck die. I was just, you know, cussing up a storm. Quickly, I left one screw in on that panel that I have to take off, and I could take it out by hand. So I'm frantically trying to get the screw out by hand, you know, pull it out, you know, grab my pliers to pull out the dead fuse, grab the new one and throw it in there. Meanwhile, the cop then looks at me, he's going, "Come on." And I was like, I'm, you know, frantically trying to figure out what to do. I throw the door open. I said, "The truck's dead, I'm sorry." And he sort of just shook his head and started, you know, other traffic. Meanwhile, there's people behind me. I'm sure they're suddenly seeing that I'm having issues, so they're probably getting mad. So I throw a new fuse in there, start it up. The cop is then walking over to me, and just as I start the truck, he's just gave me the buttons up, walked back out into the street, stopped all the traffic, and waved me through. So drove through and pulled into the Loves, climbed up. There's a big hill that comes up this way. Climbed up the hill. Just as I turned into this row of parking here, as I was making the turn around there, the truck died again. And so again, pop that fuse out real quick, throw a new one in there, start it up, call and turn, and back into the spot that I'm in now. But oh my gosh. And then you sit here and the truck will idle fine, won't blow a fuse or anything. So I make calls. I tried to call Kenworth again. I called Kenworth last night to get a wiring diagram. They never sent it. I called him again just recently. It was the same guy. He's like, "I'm so sorry, let me get this to you." So supposedly he's gonna get that to me. I called my mechanic, and originally I was gonna meet up with him earlier today because he lives in Newport, and I literally had to drive through Newport. It's on 40 just before you get to where 85 runs in, and I should have stopped there, but I got that far and I was thinking, oh, everything's going great, truck's doing good, I think we're all right, I'm just gonna keep rolling, get into Knoxville and park up out there. Should have stopped. So I tried calling him, he didn't pick up, so I left him a message, and I think what I'm gonna do is, because he's not working his other job now, if he's free, I'm gonna say, look, I'll pay you, I don't care what it takes, can you come down here and help me diagnose this thing? It's too early in the morning for this crap. Actually, it's not that early anymore. Update. The entire dash is being taken apart. So when I was when we had the computer hooked up, I think I mentioned all this. The problem that I thought was that it was an ABS system issue. There was one error code that shows up for the ABS system, but it does not show up in the diagnostics list when you search up the paperwork and whatnot for it. Shows everything else but that error code, which is 49-0. So I actually called Bendix and got with a tech there, told him that that's what I was doing, what I was experiencing, and he says that 49-0 is the brake retarder relay. Now the brake retarder is the same thing as the engine brake, and sure enough, there is a relay here. It's this one here, it goes in that spot, very basic relay, and whoops, hang on, can't hold the camera right. It goes in this spot here, very basic relay, and he says since it's an intermittent issue, the relay is probably good, but there's a short in that wire, and that line, according to the wiring schematics for the Bendix system, supposedly just goes from there over to the computer module down there. Now that's supposedly what it does, if I'm reading it right. Now excuse the dusty old mess in there, but that wiring harness is this one right here, and from what I can tell, it goes back there to, you can barely see it, but there's a blue plug back there that goes to the firewall, and it should come out right there. That is ABS stuff. So, and actually there is a fuse looking thing there. Anyways, but he's saying that it should just go straight from there to that module. So now the problem is, I found the wires. They're way down here. It's these wires I'm jiggling, but they disappear back there in that back harness. And I know the colors, but there's a lot of other wires in the same color, and I need to find out where that goes back through there, behind this mess, back over to here and down. That's what we're dealing with. Yeah, electrical, I hate it. Update, we're driving. We have not been able to find out where the short is happening. I was able to find one of the wires running from the brake relay to the ECM, which is down by my foot like you saw, but I could not find the wire that runs from the relay to ignition power, so basically to battery power. And because of all that, even though we found the one wire, that it's just going to be next to impossible to try to find